4, man. I moved out when I was 4. I have no idea.
Okay, no worries. All right.
When did you move out?
So I never lived there, but I picked up all my dad's allegiances.
Oh.
So it sucks.
So I'm more of a Chicago man than you are.
That's probably true. Yeah, but
I won my first debate.
there you go.
How did you and your wife meet?
So my sister fixed it up. So I came back from law school. I'd gone to Harvard. I came back. I got a job at a law firm like everybody else. And my sister was at UCLA at the time. My wife was also at UCLA. So she was a junior in college and she was majoring in neuropsychology. And my sister met her at sort of a Jewish Sabbath event. And she came home, my sister, and she said, I met this really beautiful girl. You're really going to like her. So that sounds great. She's like, she's dating someone else. I'm like, well, there's not much I can do about that. You know, why don't we wait and we'll come back around? So a few months later, I was like, whatever happened to that girl? And, you know, she showed me a picture of her. My very pretty lady. And so my sister said, why not email her? So she emailed my wife. And
This
she
is
said,
so romantic so far.
she emailed my wife and she said, you know, I've got this brother. You may know of him because I'd already been writing syndicated column. I had books out by this point. And so she, you know, so my wife was totally not into politics, totally didn't want to do it. And her mom was like, she'd give it a shot. So she emailed me back, you know, let's get together. So I immediately called her and she made my calls for like a week and a half. And finally she called me back and we started dating September 5th, 2007, 3.5 months after we met.
So you just knew in your heart.
Yeah. I mean, it was
also a fire-ass email, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Was anybody CC'd? I want to see proof. This is crazy.
We do have the email somewhere. Yeah. But one of the things that I always said to people is that one of the reasons we can move fast is because in the Orthodox community, you tend to date for marriage. You're dating for values. You're not dating because you want to have fun or, I mean, like all that's part of it. But the real thing that you're dating for is this somebody you're going to want to build a life with? And that means dating around certain values. So our first date was talking about like really important things, like how many kids do you want to have? What do you want our marriage to look like? What level of religiosity do you want to have in terms of the home? Do you want to send your kids to Jewish day school, not or public school? You know, really drill down at the very beginning. And that meant that once we had the same values, you know, there are a few things, once you have them, you're pretty much good to go. I mean, meaning like, obviously you have to be attracted to the other person, but once you share values and you're attracted to the other person, there are a few other check marks, but that's pretty much like the big ones.
Yeah, be careful who you mix your yolk with.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's very important. I think people lost sight of that. I think people want the fun and the exciting and they will deal with what's important later. But that's actually what made our foundation really strong. Is I told her like, hey, like, we can't have a split decision in our home how we're going to raise our children. Exactly. So why don't we just discuss that right now?
That's the number one thing. It's the number one thing.
Is there any tips that you would give a married new couple?
Oh yeah, they're a bunch. So here, get ready. I'm just going to unload on you. But here's a really good one. This one took me a while to figure out. So this is advice to you. So yeah, my wife would come to me with a problem. And my first inclination as a dude is, okay, let me fix the problem. That's what we're here for, right? We open jars and we fix problems. That's our thing. And and then she'd get mad at me for fixing the problem, right? She'd propose a problem and then she'd get upset because that's not what she wanted. She didn't want me to give a solution. She wanted me to hear her. Oh. Right? So I actually, she's again, a very giving person. So I said to her, yeah, sweetheart, I need you to tell me at the outset of the conversation, is this a solving problems conversation or is this an empathy conversation? And she would actually be honest. She'd be like, no, I just want you to hear me right now. Okay, great. Now I can be in that mode.
Great communication skills, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one thing that you know, again, we're very honest with one another and we're very open with one another about, you know, things that are going well, things that aren't going well. And so we can fix that sort of stuff. If you can do that, you'll have an amazing and long lasting marriage.
We're very good at that.
That's great. I mean, because it's when you let things build up and build up and build up that things start to explode.
You get resentment. And I've learned just from like experiences with friends or relationships, sometimes we paint out an image that's not true. Like we build it up so much in our hearts that when we bring it up and we blow up, they're like, nah, dude, that's not even what I meant. And this whole time you could have just asked a question instead of building up and then exploding.
You definitely also get invested in your picture of who you are. So for me, my big problem in life is that I tend to be a person who takes on things. Like I just take on at work, I'll just take on more. At home, I'll take on more. And so my innate inclination is that if there's a problem at home, instead of asking my wife which one of us should handle it or negotiating that in front, I'll just say, fine, I'll do it. And then you start to get resentful because like, okay, I'm doing this much stuff and I'm really busy and I'm getting angry. It's like, that's not her fault. That's my fault for not having communicated with her in the first place what I need and what would be, you know, good for both of us to cooperate in and divvying up the tasks. Whereas my kind of own self-perception is very much into like, okay, well, there's a problem, mine, I got it. And again, you know, honesty is a better policy than that, as it turns out.
Hey there, you're probably wondering, yo, George, where can I get that sweet shirt? Easy, go to theheartofdavid.co and let's make America